60%, I would say.
60%.
Because what I want this series to be is like one team gets the first win and then the
Time to drop the
ONIC,
beat
you know,
of the
bounces
clock.
back. Eventually, if we stretch this to 7 games, AP Bren will take it because AP Bren took game 1, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, true.
You see what I'm getting?
You know what? He's been really impressive with his predictions.
Yeah.
You want to give him a time to like shine now in the draft?
Hey, you know what, Wolf? This is your time.
This is my time.
This is your time.
Wow, this is okay,
The world, let's watch.
Maybe we'll wait for the first 3 bans.
All right,
Because
go,
I
go, go.
think I think that it is important because so far a very early Minotaur because they want ONIC because ONIC wants to take away maybe Fredrin or maybe take an assassin or Guinevere for example.
Or Claude.
Or Claude maybe. And AP Bren immediately will answer that with their Fredrin because it has been successful so far. Game 1 and Game 3 were because of the Fredrin. Then in combination with the Arlot. And what value do you get out from Arlot? It's a flex pick, right? Then ONIC eventually will what? Will take probably their marksman afterwards, get the Bruno together with something like a Faramis, but the Faramis was banned out anyways.
Right now, we're waiting for AP Brand for their
Okay.
final ban. Faramis Matilda as well as the Minotaur banned out by ONIC. For AP Brand, banning out the Nolan, banning out the Joy. They're really
Guinevere.
considering this. Do they want to ban out the Guinevere or do they want to open it up? Looking at the bans here. Looks like they're
Okay.
banning the Guinevere. So now,
Okay, what is
whoa,
open?
endless time.
What is open? There's the Bruno, obviously, as well as the Arlot. And then the Fredrin's going to be picked up.
Okay.
Very nice snatch coming out from ONIC. AP Bren might follow this by picking up something like the Arlot that they really, really like. And then, together with that, maybe take the Bruno. So Bruno and Arlot should be the prime
Response?
choices or response here for AP Bren. I don't think the Valentina is a good pick anyway, so ONIC might get their hands on the Valentina, actually, their 3rd pick, together with maybe their marksman already. If the Bruno is picked up by AP Bren, they answer with Claude or Brody, perhaps. Which kind of makes me think, what if AP Bren goes Arlot Brody immediately?
Arlot Brody, man. I mean, based on what happened just now, I don't hate it. I mean, let's face it. Sans went to gank, and it wasn't enough to get a kill. Super Marco is just like, I'm fine. As long as there's minions here, guess what? I'm here. I'm Super Marco.
He is super.
Super Marco!
Yes.
Mirroring world.
And also,
It's
whoa,
different, totally different.
completely different.
Super duper
AP
different.
Bren say, oh,
Man, curious.
Audience cheers. Kyrie, audience fall silence. ONIC. Understand.
this guy is making memes on the go, man.
Yeah.
That was just literally a few minutes ago.
Wow.
Dude,
Meme
dedication.
machine.
But now, the 1-1 as well as the Akai. Talk us through this pick.
Oh, obviously, the Akai secures the fact that you can get the stacks for the ultimate of the 1-1 for the crossbow Tang. But that opens up here. I think at least the Claude we still got
got it.
correctly. And then the Valentina is open for ONIC. I still think it's good, right? Especially going up against this Akai. Unfortunately, imagine if they had the Minotaur right now for ONIC. That would be great for them. I'm curious to see. Yeah, Valentina as well as a Lilia. But instead they go Kaja. The constant ban of AP Bren now let through.
Here's the thing. I was thinking of the Kaja, the classic matchup against the 1-1. I hesitated to say anything because there's an Akai. Wouldn't the Akai be a problem for the Kaja?
That is definitely 100% true. But I think that they just want to make sure that the 1-1 will be locked down. And then the Flicker as well as the ultimate coming out for the Kaja. It doesn't matter whether or not they get scrambled because of the heavy spin. They can dive. And so I think that ONIC will eventually close this draft out with 2 dive heroes.
Let me just say, it's usually the cat going after the bird, but looks like the bird wants to go after the cat.
Latest inventions.
The Angela.
The
as
puppet.
well. The puppet.
All right.
Now with this, right, they have so much sustain. The 1-1 already very hard to kill. The Akai, same thing. You know, you had an Angela. Even if ONIC get a Divine Judgment, right, it's going to be tough to lock anyone down.
Yep.
This 1-1 would feel like has 9 lives.
Yep.
Maybe 5. Because it's M5. Better than Great Man.
Wow.
If
Kadina.
Bren becomes a champion... Oh, I didn't see it. Yeah.
We're
I think
hoping for you, man.
it was too fast. I think if Bren becomes a champion, he will ask somebody out to be his girlfriend. Something like that.
You're the only Tagalog speaker here, so we're looking at you, Wolf. But now we're looking at the bans. Kadita ban out, and now for ONIC banning out the Paquito. I like both bans here because, again, very good synergy coming in with the Kaja, and the Paquito has been proven to be a problem.
If AP Bren does not get any dive heroes after this, maybe ONIC might consider something going really, diving deep into their hero pool. Maybe a Farsa, actually, because Farsa is traditionally a hero that you combo with the Kaja to take out the 1-1.
My question to Marco, you don't like the Fredrin EXP, right?
No.
I'm just throwing it out there. What if? What if? Is it okay? Is it not okay?
I think for this case, it's okay, right? I think ONIC are the only team to have proven that the Fredrin can be played in the XP.
Yeah.
But
in
you
a
still
good
don't
way.
like it.
But I still don't like it. I hate the Fredrin XP. It's already such a boring hero in the jungle. Put in an XP, and it becomes even more defensive. At least in the jungle, he moves forward.
Yep.
As XP, he's just like, oh man, let me cover for my gold laner. Ooh, we gotta roll. Roll it.
All right.
May you have luck, my friend.
The odds be in your
If
favor.
it's a bad skin, it's a boo from the crowd. If it's a good skin, it's a boo. Boo. Oh, that's another boo, man.
Yeah, that's another
Anything
boo.
that's not the aspirant skin is a boo. Oh! Wait!
Wait.
Boo! Oh,
Oh, that's a good one.
wait,
That's good.
That's my favorite.
What is
One of
that?
That's the Uranus.
Yeah.
Uranus. It's pretty good.
Hey, overall a win.
Yeah.
Nah, if it's not the aspirants or a collector, it's not a win, man.
It's not a
Hey,
W.
hey, hey.
That's an L.
Hey.
Yeah, and that's
Let's go back to the
Dude,
drive.
by the way. Shout out to
I am the
Dude.
priestess
Yeah.
of primal lightning,
Edith.
the hunter of
Okay,
all
so-
the evil gods.
I'm thinking like Eve or Farsa for ONIC if they want to be
Board?
gorgeous. Gorgeous, great
dude,
by the way, but it's
dude.
kind of,
I
boring.
mean, listen. You doubted the gore earlier, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, no, I'm saying it's good actually, but it's kind of boring, I don't want to
Okay.
see Sans in that kind of hero.
I
And
heard
they don't
Valentine.
valid.
wait, let me just
Go
recap.
back to the Valentina.
Gideon hates the Uranus, you hate the Fredrin EXP, and you hate the Gourd.
No, I don't. It's just that I
Oh,
don't. I want
wait.
to see Sans in a different.
Man's got stats!
Okay.
Man's just got the M5 Yuzong figurine. Now that's a W.
Wait.
That's a
Who's
double.
this?
That's a flex.
Look at the face.
Look at the face.
Look
Who
at
is
the
he?
face.
We gotta
Who's this
see.
man? Okay.
Okay.
Dude, you're a
Man.
W man.
W man. W.
Should we give the one on the...
No.
Okay,
We don't-
yeah, no.
Ooh,
Hayabusa.
there it is. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Fredrin EXP, Hayabusa, the jungle,
Mirko, talk
Man,
us through
and-
Kyrie.
AP Brand. If you don't go Hilda, you can actually go Hilda here.
You're right. The Hilda would be quite deadly. That was the same pick that Todak went for to dismantle ONIC at M4
Group stage.
group stage.
Especially like Edith versus the Fredrin. That's a nothing lane,
Oh, wait, yeah, I was talking about the Fredrin EXP.
Oh, we're doing it again. All
it again.
right. Are you
Make it
ready?
quick, make it quick, make it quick.
The stadium, are you
Oh,
ready?
this is Manjin.
If it's a
Wait,
bad
it's the
skin,
Mr. Diamonds?
bro.
Oh,
It's the
Bro.
Mr. Diamonds?
Bro,
Come
you're
on, man.
Manjin!
Manjin!
it's impossible.
Bro,
This
Big
guy's
L.
the richest caster in the Philippines.
What
It's impossible
the-
he doesn't have diamonds.
Oh,
Thams is what we get against the Fredrin.
All right. Bring it back into the draft. Bring it back into the draft. Looks like my prediction about Fredrin EXP was there. Hayabusa here, 0% win rate in M5 so far. The Thamus, again, performing extremely well.
Everybody's just flexing.
oh, it's
What? No way.
Reptar.
Come on, man.
Okay, so he's the richest caster.
He is the richest
Yes.
caster.
No chance to defend yourself.
No.
All right, jumping into this game, well, what are we predicting here?
Wow. I'm just happy that the Hayabusa was picked. Remember, the last time that Kyrie picked up the Hayabusa, M4, the highlights were made. And I do want to go to a Game 7, so please, I think that this could be an ONIC game.
Well, to everyone watching, especially those Clippers, you know, Mirko, if we see an assassin on Kyrie, it'll be Kyrie! We're jumping into game number 4.
As Keyboy said once, when he was told to imitate me, he said, oh my god, Kairi Hayabusa, and we get it now. So, yeah.
You know what? The Hayabusa is really high. But talk us through here, because again, 0% win rate on M5, I cannot emphasize that enough.
Yeah. I think it was used maybe twice.
Yeah.
And, but then again, this is Kyrie Hayabusa. So it's going to be very different. The thing is, they went for the Edith, which is a hero that doesn't really necessarily lock down the Hayabusa, but they do have the Akai, so I think that's good. And also AP Brand, we cannot forget the fact that they still have 1-1 Angela, a very strong combo. So I think that AP Brand will have the more comfortable draft heading into game number 4.
My only question here, going with the high, is it like a desperation coming in from ONIC? Because if AP Brand wins the next one, it is going to be match point. But with that, let's look at the emblem set here.
Yeah, gonna be a Impure Rage, in fact, for Kyrie instead of the
Interesting.
lethal Ignition, right? For your RG, typical RG. But yeah, you can see the Thrill as well as the Season Hunter, and then of course that Impure Rage from Kyrie. We're gonna see if he's really good at it so far. Flexing his quad shadow moves.
Yep. And now looking at the item builds here.
Ooh.
That's
Again,
Flicker.
Looks like AP Brand right now as well as ONIC. I'm looking at the timings here because this is Ogwen using the Idip as a roam. We saw earlier in game number 1 how Flapsy was so impactful, and Super Marco survives against Kyrie as well as CW. Now, back to the question here, the timing from AP Brand.
Yep.
What time should they strike?
Every time they have the heavy spin up. Fortunately, they have Tams, Edith, as well as this Akai. So I think that they don't really have the timing. But every time that the turtle fight is there and they have the heavy spin, they can absolutely fight against ONIC.
Basically, with the assassin pick, though, they have to give everything away neutral objective-wise, right? Flapteasy doing a good job right now, zoning Kyrie away. The Quad Shadow going to be used up as well for Kyrie, getting full stacks. Hard guard ready. San steals away the Primal Wrap, but the Vengeance keeps them at bay. All for the turtle to be taken for free by Kyle Teasy. Flap taken very low. Hard guard going to come down onto Flap, giving him enough HP, enough sustain to survive and disengage.
Something that I do worry about as well, because we got to talk about Flapteasy with Vengeance here. A Claude going up against anyone with a Vengeance.
Yes, sir.
It's not going to be looking good for the Claude. CW has to think a lot before he goes in with the Blazing Duet.
Yeah. It's like AP Bren got the Terizla, but a much faster damage build kind of Terizla. I'm not saying that Thanos is better than Terizla, because Terizla still is better overall. But the thing is, that's what they get. It has good lane prio, because if you're going to be looking at Terizla, it's quite slow when it comes to walking from lane to lane. Because of the passive as well as the first skill of Flapteasy, he's able to traverse the map from bottom to mid lane faster than a Terizla would. That's how they can keep up the pace against ONIC. So that's the general idea why Flapteasy went in for the Thams against ONIC.
So AP Brand, even though they got the turtle in terms of the goal difference, not really, because the only one that has a goal advantage on AP Brand is Few, where he has 100. Like, isn't that negligible at this point? AP Brand, they're trying to slow down Kyrie, but I saw his farm just now. It looks pretty all right.
Yeah, and he just stole that. Well, he just recovered his own creep in the jungle with a Retribution, and then straight into the bottom side. So he's actually leading despite not having the turtle.
Yeah, it's going to be the trend now for ONIC. Try to find ways to get something out of the map and do not contest for the turtle fights. Maybe if they find a good opening on keyboard, maybe they could try to contest. But I think that overall, AP Brand, this is their jungle. This is their river, in a way. They will take care of the neutral objectives easily.
Well, I kind of feel like if AP Brand, as long as they're moving with the... Looking at the map here, they are separated. So if Kyrie finds a moment where AP Brand is not moving as a unit, he can get his snowball going by catching the mistake of AP Brand. But during this turtle fights, it's going to be a little bit difficult. I am wondering if Kyrie wants to contest for this, because we've seen him on his assassins, man. He wants to try.
Flicker, everything used up on the Keyboy, taking first blood. Super Marco gets it. Kyrie in the midst right now. Quad Shadow in, and he finds it. Ogwen chases him down right now. The Quad Shadow going to be popped in. Kyrie versus the world. AP Brent chasing him down. Kyrie. Shadow kill. Boots is here. Sans also with the Primal Wrath. Kyrie going in the back with the crossbow. A tang for Super Marco, and the heavy spin from Kyle Teasy locks them all down. The turtle traded in for 3 with Keyboy.
4 minutes in. AP Brand move as 5.
Yeah.
That's very quick timing there.
It just so happens that top lane, there was the turtle, and obviously the Goldaners were there. See, for ONIC, my main reservation for the Hayabusa is that if you get the neutral objectives, he can easily be taken out.
We got to look at Kyrie. Does he have the purple buff? Because
No, he doesn't.
Not,
He doesn't.
Okay.
Stolen away.
AP Brand has started this.
He's just 100 gold behind. That's actually very surprising.
Where is he getting the farm?
Well, he got the farm and he also stole the turtle earlier, so
That's right.
technically not that far, but now without the purple buff, right?
Yep.
That's where the problem starts.
We got to talk about the Trojan Scythe as well on this Thomas. So whenever he tries to create space, even though he doesn't have defensive items, he can take care of himself.
Yep, for sure. And it's a great rundown on the Fredrin, for example. You can slow him down so easily. Even the Kaja might not escape your sights. And that is going to be good for AP Brand.
Oh, some good damage. Onward and the Earth Shadow. The Appraiser's Wrath deals nothing. Not even helping Boots sustain. And AP Brent find another kill on Super Marco. Looking for the siege in the mid lane, tier 1. Another Shatter down. Kyrie with the Quad Shadow and the Retry to keep this turret defended.
They will eventually defend. Another problem here that this Hayabusa might face is the sustain that you can get out of AP Brand. Angela just going to be a big problem there on. That's why later on, they definitely need both Kyrie and CW to deal the damage because it's going to be CW to kind of mess with the shields as well as the sustain, and it's Kyrie for the sweeps.
Now the turtle has been started by AP Brand. CW Sans as well as Keyboy is there. Ogwen finds Boots.
Heavy spin used up already. Primal Wrath going to be going as well now.
Oh, and you hear the crowd's reaction.
Right before a big team fight. But ladies and gentlemen, please do be patient with us. We will try to solve this technical issue as fast as possible.
So now we got to talk about the possibility, because I'm looking at the draft coming in from ONIC. They could play with the map. They got the Hayabusa. They got the Claude. And we saw at 4 minutes, AP Bread was very much willing to group up together.
Yeah.
So is there a possibility of ONIC just splitting the map?
Yes, that's what they need. But at the same time, you're facing up against Thams with actually his emblem. I'm looking at the emblem. No speed up, but that's okay. But the Thams is naturally very speedy when it comes to like going from one lane to another. So the split push might not be that fast for the side of ONIC. It's possible, but it's manageable because of the Thams. Who gets the turtle?
We're back though, it seems we're back. The players are already ready. Might still be testing, not too sure.
Yeah, but either way, man, looking at the screen just now, you saw a 39% win possibility for ONIC and 61% win probability for AP Brand. We got to remind everyone here that if AP Brand wins this, it is going to be match point.
That's
so
right.
It's going to put a lot of pressure onto ONIC. If they want to get that trophy, they got to work super hard for it. With that being said, we're now going to be jumping back into the game with a turtle. Who gets the turtle?
It's AP Brand.
Oh, what? Sonic with a win. Oak went flickering forward. Kyrie's next. Super Marco! Triple kill on the board. 5-0 and 2.
Right now, AP Brand, this is a big lead. Sans can protect. This mid lane turn is super important. AP Brand just takes it like that.
And immediately they go for the purple buff. Nullifying this assassin pick again from ONIC. They already had the Fredrin, but they switch it back to the EXP lane. And even without something like a Hilda or anything, there wasn't any problem. We're gonna see through the replay what happened in that fight. It's brought to us by Kadia. And you can see that Sans
Marco,
already stole the
wow.
heavy spin, but it wasn't enough. I mean, Super Marco just kited all throughout.
Everything. What a play by Marco.
Yeah, honestly, Mirko, you're the 1-1 expert. In this position right now, when AP Brand has 3.4k gold lead, and looking at the items here, 3 items for Super Marco, how ahead is he actually?
Oh, he's super ahead, man. The thing is, on the 1-1, you might take a look at the gold lead and you might say it's just an 800 gold lead, not even 1,000. But the thing about 1-1 is, if you reach that corrosion site and the DHS, that's already your power spike. That's why he can go for the Wit of Nature, and now he becomes lethal. Because he can find those weakness points, take more of a risk, and still be doing maybe even more damage than CW.
Yeah, and Kyle TZ took quite a lot of damage there, but again, the fact that he can take that much damage shows that ONIC is not ready to fight just yet. We see Kyrie again. I feel like even though he's under this much pressure, he can still do it. Sans doing the most damage here.
Onward, catching his dash. The prediction from AP Brand from Oakland. Keyboy taken out. Sans now looking for some sort of retaliation, but AP Brand are utilizing this chaos to go for the Lord. ONIC in shambles.
Yeah, but look at Kyrie, man. He's looking for the side lanes.
Vengeance. Flapteezy just standing there menacingly. CW can't do anything, and Lord gets taken without the help of the Retribution. Kyrie in the bottom lane, looking for a trade. Boots brought back to the team. Kyle TZ there. Should be able to retreat, and does. Takes away another purple buff from Kyrie. And Kyrie can only get a tier 2 in the bottom lane to trade the Lord, and a purple buff. Whoa.
Yep. It's nothing that ONIC is getting right now. They're trying to defend. They're trying to just go for the clear out on the side lanes, but it will not be enough at all. AP Brand might just steamroll into the top lane, especially because they have the massive objective here. Super Marco is already so farmed up. Kyle TZ is tanky enough. And even Flap TZ. You can see Flap TZ manning up against the members of ONIC, standing in front of them. not scared at all because he does have the Vengeance and he's very tanky at this point, even getting the Dominance Ice. 10 minutes.
Yeah, but a big power spike from Kyrie. I saw that he built the Blade of Despair, so I think it's not quite over yet for ONIC, but AP Brand wants it to be over.
It's really hard now for ONIC. I feel like for Super Marco especially, right? The main idea for ONIC was they want to get Super Marco assassinated, but he has the win in nature. So what comes next? Where does this damage come, Sans?
Now the Lord is down bottom, but looks like AP Brand is able to secure the tier 2s. Oh, CW wants Kyle Teasy. He has to be careful.
Shadow Kill also used up some damage back to AP Bren. ONIC still trying to defend from the siege that AP Bren are still going at it full force with. Conceal come down. BMI getting him out. A good splash of damage from the turret to try to take these minions down, but AP Bren do a lot with that minion wave. The base turret in the bottom lane is low, very low.
Oh, look at this purple buff here. Kyrie wants it, but AP Brand wants to deny it.
You wanted more. Logwen needs the time. No, he doesn't even need to. AP Bren have done it. They've taken another purple buff.
For the longest time, we haven't seen any Flicker Divine Judgment play from ONIC. In fact, there's no play that we saw from ONIC. The last time that we saw was probably the turtle fight where Sans was able to copy the heavy spin, but that's just about it. ONIC cannot find an opening for a team fight. And this Kaja pick, even when it's like one of the best heroes that Kiboy has ever played, it seems like he does not have an impact right now.
I mean, look in the lineup here, man. When Flap TZ as well as Ogwen is up in your face, there's it looks like there's no right target for you to catch because, in theory, Super Marco and Few is the perfect target you want to catch.
Yeah.
But having Flap TZ as well as Ogwen, man-to-man defense on you, and even if you're able to penetrate that defense, Kyle is there, man.
Yeah.
He's going to nullify your engage.
Heavy spin.
Heavy spin.
Just one tap away from a cover.
So, I don't know, man. I feel like if you ran with the draft, they've successfully nullified the advance that Kiboy has on his Kaja, but if he can prove me wrong, I'm all for it.
Oh. Kiboy up top.
They spotted him. Kiboy all alone, isolated. Still with a flicker now. Kyle Teasy with a heavy spin. Blocks Kiboy down. Super Marco has a monster kill, 6-0 and 3.
That's a problem. And AP Bren, even though Retribution forced out, Boots might be in trouble.
Is in trouble. Onward, Earthshatter locking him down. The top Boots gets him out with a flicker. Baptiste chases him down. CW now pushing some damage. Vengeance! Baptiste able to escape the shadow kill. Not able to take him down. Super Marco dashes forward, looking for one more. Boots zoned away. Meanwhile, Kyle, all this time, he's still on the Lord and he gets it for free. The Hive in Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Go wild!
AP Bren has been hiding this Thamus pick, man. He just, like you said, stands there menacingly. As long as he has the vengeance, dude, he feels strong. He feels invincible. He can make a beeline straight to anywhere and he'll be okay.
Yeah. It will take so much from ONIC to be able to take down Flap TZ. DHS, the Trinity actually available now for CW, gets the Malefic Roar, much needed in this particular game, but they might not be able to utilize it because AP Bren, everybody else is tanky. Everybody else is the problem.
Lord march down, gets a good charge on. The Primal Rat stolen away. Sans trying to deal some damage. Ogwen, Earthshatter out already. No onward just yet. Onward to the back. Kyrie does a bit more damage onto him, but AP Bren will stay disciplined. They have a 7,000 gold lead. They'll look for another wave in the mid lane this time around. AP Bren still with a lot of resources. Sans coming down into the mid lane with a splash of damage. Boots standing in the front. Flap TZ looking for an engage. Cal TZ soaking the damage in. Divine Judgment on the Flap TZ with no vengeance this time around, but he has it back on cooldown now. The base turret cracked open in the mid lane. Ogwen gets the immortality. Keyboy with a whip. But that's 3 base turrets down for ONIC. And AP Bren are still lingering. That's Kyle! With a truncheon by Sans, but it's not enough. The mage, the Gila Sans, has been taken down. Now it's AP Bren, 5 against 4. Super Marco looking for all the weakness points. Mid waves, they're going to be cleared away. 2 waves coming down though. AP Bren looking for a match point. Boots up to the blazing door from CW. A vengeance. With a truncheon by Few. Still able to survive. Kyrie marching back and forth. One more minion. APBR! Bren! The Wild Bees! The Hive! Match point!
Match point for APBR. One more win is needed to keep the trophy in Philippines. One more win for them to be the two-time world champion.
Just one more. That is what the crowd is chanting. They can feel it. The first hometown champions, it's just one win away.
Dude, the storyline. No host country winning the M series. Right now, APBR is looking at it and be like, don't you know who we are? And now, a lot of things happen, man. We got to talk about Flapteasy. But we're going to give it over to Leo as well as Gideon.
Ah, man, I have to agree with you, Leo. This is one of the few moments where you just let it sit in. The crowd is giving that extra bit of momentum for APBR, and it's understandable with the way that they are playing so far, the way that they are crushing it, not only in the lane, but also in the overall team fights, neutering Kyrie from his purple buff, and more importantly, just pushing the advantages, really abusing the weaknesses in the drafts thus far. As much as I would like to believe that Fredrin is going to be the solution to a lot of their problems, unfortunately this time around, I think that even the Hayabusa could understand he couldn't go further than this. Angela being able to protect the right targets at the right time, and more importantly, Few making sure that even Sans felt it in lane. Things have changed so much, but we have to talk about the MVP, Leo.
My mic made like the Hayabusa in the jungle. It was very difficult for Kyrie to do anything. And it's because of our MVP that the tempo actually got pushed up. It's Kyle Teasy coming in with the Akai. He's actually able to do more than just split up ONIC in those team fights. He's actually able to choke out once more Kyrie. APBR's performance in game 4 here was a combination of what they did great so far in the first 2 games they won.
Yeah, and again, Kyle, with one of the most important spells in the game, the heavy spin being the biggest deterrent, a nuke, some may say, for Keyboy to stop him from going in. And worse yet, even for Sans, he's got to be extremely careful because the only all he could really take was the Primal Wrath. And this is where we see Kyle really push that tempo once he got even a slight EXP lead.
Didn't even notice that he was sitting at 100 KP. That's just a testament to how well Kyle Teasy used the map and understood the assignment, that he has to do more than just take these objectives. He has to take him away from Kyrie and punish where he can to get that lead bigger than ever.
But let's remember, at the end of the day, as much as he likes to oppress, it's about their win conditions, and that's where you see Super Marco and as well as Flapteasy really kind of take that early game into their hands. And when you see Super Marco with 3 kills immediately after this cleanup play, the one opportunity that ONIC had to try and even things out, had they walked away, maybe, but Super Marco said no.
Looking at the way the KDA went throughout all of APBR, you're looking at just one core, right? You're looking at Super Marco. But the way Flapteasy and Ogwin also made use of the space that Kyle Teasy bought for them, it made them all the more confident in even blocking the main arteries, the movements of ONIC, to try and find even that one last Hail Mary play from Keyboy where he hung out in the bush to try and get a sneaky Divine Judgment, which now explains why, even in the hands of a very talented player like Keyboy, the Kaja has a very, very low win rate.
I don't know what they ate today, or better yet, what preparation that APBR has done. They are reading movements across the map extremely well, being able to foretell a lot of the movements, and more importantly so, it's not necessarily just about Kyrie, it's about the big playmakers, it's about Keyboy, and it's even about Boots. As soon as he's out of that lane, they find him a punish. If Keyboy is missing off the map, they find that punish.
Let's check out the emblem set once more on Kyle Teasy. It's business as usual. I like the touch on the Quantum Charge. As an Akai, you have a few choices. Again, the alternative would be a Concussive Blast, but here, he's just using it to always be on his targets, always be moving, and again, keeping ONIC on their toes, keeping ONIC honest.
I think, keeping ONIC honest, is what's making AP Bren work out so much, right? Every single time we see in the draft, take away some of the comfort heroes, take away some of the problems that we saw in the previous game, and there's still another solution. Unfortunately, Kyle TZ might not be the person they want to look to pinch this time around for the upcoming game, but more so to escalate things even further and get CW a winning matchup. It's not just about the Claude anymore. These Wanwans, they've got to go.
Yep, looking at ONIC though, it's clear that CW had an idea. CW was latching onto the fact that maybe they can hold out for the, 18, 19 minute mark, wherein the work he was putting onto the map would pay off. As soon as he scored the Trinity, it seemed like it was going to be a fair fight, especially since clearing waves wasn't going to be a problem. But that's difficult to assume that it's going to work out, that you're even going to make it to the 18 or 19 minute mark when AP Bren are hunting you down actively. Again, it's not just Kyle TZ, it's Flapteezy and Ogwin actively manhunting. They're actively looking for kills, and those two, actually there's a lot of damage between these two chunky heroes.
Best yet, the biggest nullifier of them all, have any Trinity build, have as much damage as you want, but as long as Vengeance is available, you saw CW. He loses half of his health just auto-attacking this guy. He's got to be extremely careful. It is a big deterrent, and now that's something that they have to consider moving on. I think AP Bren, they figured out and cracked the code when it comes down to EXP exploitations, and now it's up to ONIC to find their own answers, because unfortunately for Boots, if they keep putting on these sandbags, it's not enough, especially when he's up against Kyle, who's doing a much better job.
There's a silent MVP amongst us, and that is few. The fact that he does so well to hide himself in plain sight, to hide himself even from the map when it's so free to just clear waves as the Angela, he's able to provide for all of the highlight players for AP Bren right now. Rich guy, Super Marco, even if he gets ganked by 2 or 3, he's fine, he's got a hard guard. Kyle TZ, again, we've already talked about how he has controlled this matchup. And even Ogwin. Ogwin is so confident to actually even go for those Tokyo drift onwards, really, and find targets even if they weren't so sure what were in the bushes nearby.
I mean, his greatest strength is the fact that they waited for the right time, the right opportunity, right? He can't just use his onward willy-nilly. The moment he uses it, he gets run down and he's forced to use his ultimate, and that's not what you want to do as an Edith. You're waiting for that one chance to catch a big fish, and whether it be Sans, whether it be Kyrie, doesn't matter which, as long as you catch them in the middle of that fight, it's all over.
All right, here's where the oxymoron, the paradox comes in. Look at the amount of damage Super Marco dealt, and look at how dominating he was and how many kills the young Stephen Marco Requetiano got in this game. Compare that to how much CW and Suns were putting on the board. That just shows how effective AP Bren's front line was, how their peel was used for more than just protecting their front line, how they used it to bulldoze on through, coming into the base. What was that? Maybe a waiver later, just taking all the inhibitors.
No, that's absolutely true. We're seeing that there is almost double the damage coming in from the side of ONIC, and Flapteezy, 35,000, still being the second highest damage dealer on his team, really begs the question, how impactful is your damage? How well distributed is it across the board? Kyrie could already barely participate in these fights, so unfortunately for good guy Boots, he's taken the brunt of those hits.
Something in me is wanting to ask, I want to know if the Fredrin has always been the plan, if putting it in the XP was always in the books, or was it a mid-draft situation where, okay, we already stole it, you want to push the advantage? You want to make things spicier? Okay, go get the Hayabusa. I don't know if that was the plan all along.
I don't know. It's one of these moments where you're starting to lose faith in your EXP laner. I think that unfortunately for Boots, he's getting shafted in these drafts. And for Kyrie, putting him on a Hayabusa in such a high stakes game, worse yet, we haven't seen Hayabusa come out as hard. It comes down to that purple buff, right? Your purple buff is so important for these assassins to get ahead. And if you don't actually have a winning lane, and in this case, it's not winning. Both sides, both EXP as well as gold.
Something else to note, check it out, Flapteezy's Tams, he was also on the charts, top 3 minimum for damage dealt and damage taken. That explains why there is a sudden appearance of Tams in the metagame. For a fact that a hero with no CC, compared to the heroes that usually